Welcome to today's guest spotlight, where we're talking about, let me ask you this. How would redefining your culture of accountability impact your business? How would it increase your bottom line? How would it increase your team's productivity? How would it shift the game, creating a culture where you have accountability and a whole lot more? Well, guess what? Today's guest segment is all about that. And we're speaking with one of the leading experts in accountability all over the world. His name is Sam Silverstein. He's a recognized global accountability and leadership expert. In fact, global gurus recently named Sam as one of the world's top 30 organizational culture professionals. And as a former owner of a company and executive, Sam's company's sold over $100 million in products and services. So you're learning from someone who's used the culture of accountability to be able to transform not only his business, but many clients maybe like you. Is that what you want? If that's what you want, then you are going to love today's guest spotlight. Not only that, but Sam is the author of 12 books, including No More Excuses, Pivot, The Accountability Circle, I'm Accountable No Matter What, and a whole lot more. And you can learn more about Sam by going to theaccountabilityinstitute.com. Sam, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am great, Dan. It's wonderful to be here.
Awesome. Well, I want to dive right into it. Like, why are you fascinated with accountability? What led you down this path?
I love accountability, and accountability is something that drives every organization. For years, I had a window manufacturing company, Dan. We sold the company, and then I started speaking, consulting, working with companies in sales, in personal development, and relationship building, and marketing, and all these topics. And the reality was, what I discovered over a period of time is, first of all, nobody knew what I did. And second of all, the real crux of everything that I was working with organizations was accountability, that was the foundational piece that they needed to make all these other areas really excel. And so that's when I put the blinders on, focusing on accountability and just going deeper in that area, because we realized we could have the greatest impact in organizations if we could help them understand what accountability was and then build that into their workplace culture.
And in fact, I've heard you say that this is a new era of accountability. In fact, it's an opportunity where you can create a culture of accountability, that you can boost the bottom line, you can actually get more new business, you can keep clients longer, you can build essentially a dream team with just the idea of accountability, right? And it sounds so simple, but so many people get it wrong. Now, before we get into some of the strategies I know you're going to share here, what's a story of someone you've worked with that maybe, they came in, they had, I don't know how you would assess it, but low scores on accountability, and then you help and transform their business? Tell us a little bit about that.
We've worked with several organizations that have been clients for a significant period of time, but over a short period of time, we're able to see immediate change. So we had a client that we started working with. Within 30 days, we started seeing changes in the way people saw each other, the way that they communicated with each other, the way they worked together. Within 90 days, we saw a shift in the team. Some of the people left the organization. New people came in, and the culture started to come together. Somebody was diagnosed with a malignant tumor on her spine, and she had to go from Texas up to Rochester to the Mayo Clinic for treatment. And everyone in the organization came together. They actually changed their policy manual to allow people to gift their personal time off so they could gift it to her so she could earn income while she was up there. This was an outgrowth from what was happening in their culture. And 10 months later, where I was introduced by the president of this organization to his trade association, he said that since they've been working with us, that they tripled their activity. So in 10 months' time, and actually less than 10 months, but in 10 months' time, they tripled the activity of what they were working on and accomplishing within the organization. This came from looking at their workplace culture and designing a culture that inspired people to be their best and choose to prioritize accountability.
Now, speaking of accountability, it sounds so simple. I think if you're watching or listening right now, you go like, would you like to have your team be more accountable? I bet the answer is yes. But I think a lot of people don't understand what accountability is. So Sam, what is the definition of accountability?
Well, accountability is keeping your commitments to people. It's that simple. The challenge is a lot of leaders, they try to use accountability to manipulate others to do more work for them. And we delineate between the tactical commitments, which is, these are spoken, agreed to. I'll be there at 3. I'll get the report done by Friday. I'll take out the trash. Those are all tactical, transactional commitments. They're important and they go towards productivity, which is important. But it's the relational commitments that define accountability. Commitments like a commitment to live the values, a commitment to discover people's potential and lead them to that potential, a commitment to stand by you when all hell breaks loose, a commitment to it's all of us, which means if you fail, I fail, and only if you succeed do I succeed. And when leaders take on relational commitments, they build this environment that inspires people to want to be their best because they know that their leadership is accountable to and for them, and they would rather die than let that leader down, which means not only are you growing accountability, but in this case, because people are so committed to the team, you're growing productivity as well. And so when you focus on the relational commitments, that's when you start building accountability.
And as you're watching or listening right now, what would it be worth to you and your team to be able to boost the accountability, to boost the productivity, to boost the engagement factor, to boost the culture, workplace environment, to boost the ability where they see it that if they fail, you fail, and vice versa, equally yoked? Like, what would that be worth to your business? And how would it change the game for you? How would it shift your position in your marketplace? I mean, start to think about how powerful this can be. Now, Sam, I've heard you say that literally there's two, fragments that people fit into that this is for. Accountability for companies to boost their productivity and their team and their accountability to get results. And it's for consultants who want to use accountability as a tool in their toolbox to help extend the value of their clients and give them a tool that most people just don't have. So speak about who is this for, and maybe who is it not for?
Well, it's not for people that just want to stay where they are. They just want to continue doing what they're doing. They don't want to get better. And you know what? If that's where they are, that's fine. I wake up in the morning, and I know you do too. And the question really is, how can I be a little better today? That's really all I need to do. If I get a little better every day, then over time, the cumulative result is just amazing. So we created the Certified Accountability Advisor program to not only go into an organization and help them create and sustain a culture that prioritizes accountability and teach them and leave them with the tools that they can continue doing this internally. But we work with coaches, consultants, speakers, and trainers who want to help their, not only inside their organization, but help their clients be better, because it's a powerful, I would say it's a powerful message, but it's so much more than a message. It's a way of thinking, and it's a way of acting, and it's a way of taking an organization to the next level. So if a consultant is looking to actually help their clients improve, accountability is going to be at the foundation of it. It is by definition. And this helps those consultants and coaches just greatly accelerate the results they get with their clients, keep the clients longer, get more referrals, and ultimately generate more revenue because they're delivering greater value to their clients.
And how would you like to deliver greater value in your team or for your clients? Well, if so, then stay tuned, because we've got some exciting things that we're going to share with you as part of what we're doing here. Now, Sam, there are a lot of people who claim to be in leadership and accountability, et cetera. Like, what makes you unique, or your methodology unique versus others out there?
Well, two things that are critical. One, the understanding of accountability as far as what it really is and what creates accountability. It's not a way of manipulating people. It's a way of inspiring people. And built upon that, data. We've created, to my knowledge, the only workplace culture audit, an automated system that actually not only measures 15 things in the workplace culture, but we can actually measure accountability. So what happens, whether we're working with a client or one of our certified accountability advisors, a coach or consultant is working with one of their clients, they have the ability to go in and, first of all, see what's going on right now. Without that clear understanding of what's happening, not someone's opinion, but the reality of what's happening. Without that, then how do you diagnose what needs to be done? So once you have the data of what's going on and you know where you want to be, then success just becomes closing that gap. And so this tool not only measures where you are, it tells you specifically how to close that gap. And then the tool is used 12 months down the line to measure your success, to document your success, so you can continue your relationship with that client for another 12 months and on and on. And isn't that what we want? Long-term relationships with clients so that we can continue to help them be better? Because when that's the case, we're delivering greater value and we're making an impact.
And as you're listening or watching right now, just imagine, Pearson's law says that which is measured improves, and that which is measured and reported improves exponentially. What Sam is describing here is a tool of accountability and a tool of measurement, along with the guidance, the support, the peer mentoring, the advising, as well as the measurement to go along with it. So that, have you ever thought to yourself, like, how can I measure accountability? Well, now you have a tool to be able to plug into to do that. Now, Sam, as you work with so many hundreds of companies and then also consultants over time, or variety between the two, I should say, what's another example of someone you've worked with where, you were able to impact their, company and or their consulting business because of how this tool, this set of tools you've created has helped them?
Well, what we've discovered is that when a consultant becomes part of what we do at the Accountability Institute and actually earns their certified accountability advisor program, it changes the way that they think and the way they see their clients. And so they're not just looking to sell a program that's going to last 30 or 60 days, generate a little money, and then they move on to the next client. And so I'll give you an example of someone, let's just call him Tom. And what Tom found out right away is that he could provide greater value for the client. And we helped him understand how to put a proposal together that would do just that. So within a short period of time, he actually put out his first six-figure proposal for a client, six-figure proposal that was a year-long relationship. And since then, he's put out several others. And this transformation in the way that he was thinking, the way he saw his clients and his relationship with his clients has transformed his business.
And then speaking of transforming the business, Sam, if someone is watching or listening right now, right, it's easy to, when you think about it, like, who wouldn't want to boost their fees? You just talked about Tom, right? Likely was charging X and now has six-figure kind of contracts, and not just one, but multiple, as a result of using a tool like this. So it gives someone the ability to charge more. It gives them the ability to keep clients longer, for retention. It gives them the ability to deepen the productivity, which ultimately boosts the bottom line of the business. If we take a step back, right? You've been at this many decades and worked with so many thousands of people all over the world. What are some of the big mistakes that you see that people make when it comes to accountability and not really matching it up to their organization, and or if they're working with clients where they just don't have a way to measure?
Well, then what happens when someone's not measuring is it becomes opinion. And so you can ask me what I think the problems are with my business, and I'm going to share some things with you. And there may be some accuracy there, but I don't know what I don't know. So as an expert, when a consultant or a coach comes into an organization, that expert brings a view of things that the leader may not be able to see or others in the organization can't see. And by being able to measure what's actually going on, then you have data, you have the facts. So it's not your opinion, it's not my opinion, it's not Sally's opinion. It's the truth of what's happening within this organization. Now, you may agree, you may not agree, but truth is truth. And when we know what's going on, then we can, it's like going to a doctor. The last thing I want to do is go to a doctor and he says, here, take 3 of these and call me tomorrow. Well, you don't even know what my problem is yet. And I may tell you what I think my problem is, but there could be a problem behind the problem. And so by having a tool that you can rely on 100%, that's going to uncover what's actually going on inside that culture, wow, that just positions you to be the consultant of choice. It positions you as the expert, because it's, I have a pain in my arm, but is that pain, is that in the tissue? Is it in the bone? Does it go deeper? Is it based in nutrition? Who knows, unless you really go deep and you really discover what's happening. And when you do that, then you become a different type of coach or consultant. Your relationship changes with your clients. They see you differently. They recommend you differently.
And speaking of that, like what are some, like when someone uses your certified accountability program and your certification, what are some of the things that they can expect to get as they go through your certification program?
Well, first of all, we want people that are in our certification program to have this deep understanding of what accountability truly is and how to step it out. And so we take them through that process, because you can't give what you don't have. It's got to be inside of you. And then we position them with the specific tools, whether it be development work that they can use at all levels of an organization, from the C-suite down to the front line, to help individuals grow, to help them be their best so that they can collectively be better as an organization. So, all the PowerPoint, all the facilitation guides, all the participant workbooks, online courses, all these tools are made available. And then the culture audit, which is this automated system that allows them to get the data they need to not only put the proposal together, but to monitor the progress. These are things that are all at the fingertips. But I'll tell you what, Dan, probably the greatest tool is the network of being connected in my accountability circle, my mastermind group of coaches and consultants globally, who come together to help each other be their very best and to serve their clients at the very highest level. And it's that network of people that makes such a big difference in everyone's business.
And speaking of that, if someone wants to learn more and they go, wow, this is exciting, Sam, I'd like to learn how to use this tool, put it in my consulting practice or put it in my bill, or maybe they just want to have one of your advisors or your certified experts work with them to become more accountable. How can people learn more about you? Where can they go to get more information about the process and your certification?
Well, the best place to go is to the accountabilityinstitute.com. And at the very top, become a consultant or hire a consultant, become a certified advisor, hire certified advisors right at the top. Select that. You can set up a call, and would love to talk with organizations or coaches, consultants who want to go deeper. And then we can share all the resources, all the tools that are available, the timeline of what it takes to step it out, and how they can start making a difference in their business and for their clients, literally in the next 30 to 60 days.
So if you're looking for a way to be able to help more clients become more accountable, to have measurement, to have the tools, to have the resources, and you like the idea of having a consortium, so to speak, a network effect of other experts, like-minded peers that you can mastermind with, that you can get support, mentoring to be able to apply the principles that Sam has been talking about. We've only been able to scratch the surface in a few minutes here. I want to encourage you to go to theaccountabilityinstitute.com right now, click on the link, pick your path, which fits you best, whether you want to become a consultant, whether you want to hire a consultant, or whether you want to look to put this in place in your business. Go to theaccountabilityinstitute.com. That's theaccountabilityinstitute.com right now to take advantage of learning more, to get a chance to connect with Sam and his team to be able to do this. Now, Sam, I've got so many questions going on, and I'm a little biased because we've had a chance to work together in this journey over the last few months. And I've gotten a chance to learn about you. And one of the things I feel that is very unique about your system versus anything I've seen in this space, and there's a series of a handful of things. Number one, you brought up tools, right? Tools or systems run a business, right? This isn't a personality-driven type model. This is based on systems and tools. And you give people literally a done-for-you tool that you've spent, whatever, hundreds of thousands, decades, you've taken decades and collapsed it into, like, literally, if they work with you, they get it in minutes to a degree. and I don't want to create hyperbole around it, but you've taken something so complex and simplified to give them another tool in their toolbox to be able to help their clients. So tools and systems. Then on top of that, you've got mentoring, where they get a chance to work with you and your team, where you're going to guide them through. Even if they're brand new, you're going to show them step-by-step complete system, A to Z, how to be able to do this, how to be able to get more new clients, how to be able to install it, how to be able to implement it, how to be able to retain clients for the long term, and a whole lot more. On top of that, you've got a proven accountability system that you can help someone get on track, stay on track, and keep on track over time because of a proven process that you've built and created, you as the test guinea pig, if you will, to start with, and then now expanding that into many others, and this, being instituted in many companies around the world. On top of that, if you've got the ability to work with people with measurement, right? We brought up measurement. I mean, you're like the king of measurement with this tool, because you can do a before assessment and an after assessment, at different stages of the process of the journey. And then on top of that, you've got a proven curriculum where you've taken decades of experience and literally down to the most important critical things that someone will need to get started, to be able to get their first clients using this, or if they're already getting clients, they can supplement this in to either add value to boost their fees and or extend the life of a client, or both, as well as strategies to be able to grow their team, to be able to, what resources to plug into, what are the key things that you and the people you work with have run into bottlenecks, you help eliminate those, right? To simplify the whole process. And so as you're watching, as you're listening right now, if you're looking for a way to have a complete system with the tools, the systems, the mentoring, the coaching, the guidance, the proven curriculum, the measurement tools, the accountability, and a whole lot more, then just learn more by going to theaccountabilityinstitute.com, whether it's for your business or whether you're a consultant and looking to add this into the mix. I encourage you to go check out what Sam is making available for you right now. Now, Sam, as far as accountability, right? Let's say someone is, watching, like, wow, this sounds pretty awesome. I'd love to institute this in my business. Like, what are a couple like tips or strategies that you could give somebody walking away here today that could help them get closer to helping them and or their team become more accountability right now?
Well, that's a great question, Dan. And I'll tell you what, we had a call yesterday. We were working with some of the new candidates for the Certified Accountability Advisor designation, and they were working through some of the exercises and applying the tools to themselves. And again, I go back to what I said before, you can't give what you don't have. You can't teach what you don't know, what you haven't lived. And they go through a process of understanding what their values narrative is, what their unique purpose is, what their mission is. And we not only define all this out, but we have a step-by-step system for people to go through this process to understand what their values narrative is so that they can create a great value set. You can't do this organizationally unless you've done this individually. At least you can't do it to the degree that you need to. Now, our process is totally different for an organization than it is for an individual. You talk about systems. We have two totally step-by-step systems that we teach how to implement. But the thing that I would share would be, if you want greater accountability in an organization and you want a culture that prioritizes that, we need to define that culture. And that culture will be defined through the values narrative. And so it's important to have an amazing set of values. Not amazing values, Dan, an amazing set of values. An amazing set of values connects their values. The set itself connects to professional values. What is excellence here? Relational values. How do we get along not only inside the organization, but how do we get along with people outside the organization? Foundational values, which speak to the character of who we are as an organization, and community values. How do we connect with and serve the community in which we do business and we live? When you create an amazing set of values, that defines your culture. And so the first thing I would ask a leader to do is to look at their values narrative. Do they have specific values? Are they just words? Are there complete sentences and paragraphs that explain how to step them out? Do they connect to these 4 areas? Are these values being lived throughout the organization to the degree of non-negotiable? Means that everyone lives them, no matter whether they're a top performer or a mediocre performer. And that's where I would start, because it's how we define the culture that's going to set the pace to whether accountability is going to show up as part of that culture, or just kind of be, maybe it's there today, maybe it's not.
And as you're watching or listening right now, like, what would it be worth to really tune in on your set of core values, right? To go deep, that, you know, like Sam just mentioned, relational values, foundational values, community values, and a whole lot more. And extend that even into your unique purpose, and then be able to extend that into your mission. Just that simple exercise. How would it change the game for your business today? Like if you were to level that up, because let's face it, I don't know if you're like most of the clients we seem to come across who love the idea of values and maybe at one point did a values exercise, but they've become a wall plaque that people walk by every day. And are people really living those values? And if they're not living those values, those are not the type of values that Sam's talking about. You can get this right. And the key question to ask yourself is, are you prioritizing a culture of accountability? Are you prioritizing getting a core set of values to help you run the business without you? If so, then I would encourage you to go learn more about what Sam has put together to help you, your team, and or help you to be able to get more new clients as a consultant or a teacher or someone in this role as an advisor. And you can go to theaccountabilityinstitute.com, theaccountabilityinstitute.com to learn more. Sam, I know we've covered a lot and we only have a limited amount of time here, but what is something I should have asked you that maybe I hadn't gotten to yet?
Wow. There's just so much that we could talk about when it comes to the world of accountability and making a difference for clients and helping them build this culture that inspires accountability. Maybe the real question is, do you have all the answers?
Do you have all the answers?
The real question is, do you, the client, have all the answers? Do I run into clients that have all the answers? And the answer to that question is yes. We run into clients that have all the answers. And we find over and over that those clients that have all the answers don't have the answers to the problems they're truly facing. And so the key is to be able to help a client see past what they think they know, to discover what they don't realize that they don't know. And as a consultant or coach, or as a certified accountability advisor inside of an organization, that's what we want to do, is to help them see beyond the answers that they think that they have and realize that they're not even asking the right question many times. And that's why they're not getting the results they want. You see, there's a reason that a coach or a consultant's business is at whatever level it's at. And there's a reason why an organization's success is at whatever level that it's at. And it's based on what they believe. And so the question is, what do you believe about accountability? What it is, how it shows up, how to build it? Is it something that you're using as leverage? You're holding people accountable, which is like putting a gun to their head? Or is it something that you are modeling and teaching so that you're inspiring to be their best? So the question is, do companies have all the answers? Well, the reality is they may think they do, but they don't. And the leaders that realize that they don't have all the answers, that they need to bring in expertise to help them to continue to do well or to do better, those companies are going to thrive. And those consultants that position themselves to have the content and to have the material to make a difference to help grow those people will grow those companies, and then they will themselves grow as a consultant or coach. So it's looking beyond that will allow everyone to grow to that next level.
And if you're looking for a way to be able to have a bigger impact, if you're looking for a way as a coach or a consultant to be able to boost your fees, to be able to retain clients longer, to have a proven system that works for you to help you get more clients, keep more clients, retain more clients for the long term, then I would encourage you to go to theaccountabilityinstitute.com. That's theaccountabilityinstitute.com. And or if you're a company looking to get the best out of your people, to give them a platform of success, to set a architecture of your business so that you are built on a strong foundation, to grow from a strong foundation. And you realize deep inside that when you build great people, that's when you set records. If you want to do that, Sam can help you do it. And you just have to ask yourself, do you want help? And if the answer is yes, then it's real simple. You can learn more by simply going to theaccountabilityinstitute.com. That's theaccountabilityinstitute.com. Speak to Sam, one of his team, find out more, see how he can help you, find out all the things that are available. Now, Sam, before we wrap this up, what are some of the key actions that you hope that someone watching today or listening right now would take as a result of our time today?
Well, if someone owns a business, let's step back and look at the organization. Are you retaining all the best people? Are you attracting the best people in your industry? And if you're not, maybe there's a reason for that. Are you at the very top of your industry as far as performance? And if you're not, maybe there's a reason for that. And if you are, what are you going to do to stay there? And so these are questions we need to ask. If you're a consultant, are you able to help your clients go beyond the rhetoric, to go beyond what anyone else can teach? Because you know what? There are a lot of people that can come in and they can talk about leadership, and they can talk about sales, and they can talk about marketing, and that's abundant. Do you have the ability to take your clients beyond what is abundant? Because if you don't, then that's where accountability comes in, because this isn't abundant. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it, but they're not. And so that's the question you need to ask yourself. Do you have those tools in your kit to be able to go beyond what everybody else is doing? Because tactics are abundant. And if you want those tools, then let's talk about how accountability and being a certified accountability advisor can make a difference for you, your clients, and your business.
So take action with what Sam has shared with you today. Right? If you're looking for a way to create a workplace, a culture of accountability, to be able to get the most and best out of your people, to help give them a culture that is the best in the industry, to help have a way to measure where they're at today, where you're at today, where they're at, X number of months from now, and then a pathway to be able to dramatically transform your culture and your workplace, productivity, leadership, and a whole lot more, then I encourage you, go to theaccountabilityinstitute.com and learn more, theaccountabilityinstitute.com to learn more. Sam, it's been awesome to have you. I just want to say how fortunate I feel that we get a chance to work together regularly. If you were going to turn to your wife, and you've been working together side by side for multiple decades, so that speaking of accountability, there's so much accountability in just the idea of marriage. And I got a chance to meet you and your wife and so on. But if you were going to turn to your wife, what would you thank her for in her supporting you the way she does, doing what you do?
Well, the word support, you just use that. And that's really at the very core. I believe that everything that I've achieved because Renee has been there to support every decision that I've made. And it's amazing when you have a partner who is on your side. Not that they don't question things, that they don't challenge you, but they support you without any doubt. And when you have someone that's there to support you, to help you become your best, then you have the ability to become your best. And there's no way that I write 12 books, that I build a business over the course of these 30 years, working with organizations, helping them be their very best, that I've had the opportunity to speak to not only companies, but government agencies literally around the world, get inducted into the Speakers Hall of Fame. So many accolades have come my way, but somewhere on there, it needs to say, this happened because of Renee, because Renee was always there helping me make it happen. Which, gets me to pause and say, Dan, who in our life, for all of us, is that unsung hero And are we letting them know that we appreciate them for what they've done for us? Because that's what I try to do every day with Renee, is let her know how much impact she's had on my life and has allowed me to become the person that that I'm still working to be.
And thanks for giving us a glimpse into your world, Sam. And it's a privilege, it's an honor. And as you're watching or listening right now, I hope you get a chance, a glimpse, and not just business, but also a little bit of the human side. Because if you're looking for a way to have a co-pilot that can help you with accountability, someone who, walks his talk front stage and backstage and can guide you to be able to put a system in place to help you grow your business, grow productivity, grow workplace culture of effectiveness and leadership, to be able to give you tools that if you're a consultant or coach, that helps you help more people at a deep level beyond the surface, then I encourage you to go learn more, check in with Sam, his family, his team, and a whole lot more. You can do that at theaccountabilityinstitute.com. That's theaccountabilityinstitute.com. He's Sam Silverstein. I'm Dan Kuschell. Thanks for making us part of your day. We'll see you again next time on growthtofreedom.com.
Thanks for listening to this episode of growthtofreedom.com. Are you struggling to get a steady flow of new clients every day? Or maybe hit a plateau or hit a wall in growing your business? Well, let's help you solve this problem today. Let's review your business and have a conversation. You can do that for free today at breakthroughstrategycall.com. That's breakthroughstrategycall.com. In addition, if you're looking for a simple way to implement some of what we've been talking about in today's episode, then I want to encourage you to get our free small business toolkit. You can get that at activate.breakthrough3x.com. That's activate.breakthrough3x.com. If you'd like access to the special resources and all the show notes for this special episode, make sure to visit growthtofreedom.com.
Hey, it's Dan Kuschell. Click the buttons over here on the left. You can watch these other couple videos, as well as make sure to hit the subscribe button so you can get access to the latest insights, strategies, and wisdom, giving you more clarity, confidence, and direction for exponential business growth. Hit the button now.